This is a familiar scene to us now, the erector line there in the foreground, the umbilical cord over to the left, the umbilical tower, that is. That's the tower that carries the life equipment for the astronauts and that equipment necessary for the booster before it actually takes off. That tower remains right there as the Gemini spacecraft atop its big 430,000-pound thrusting engines rockets into space. 430,000 pounds on takeoff with 100,000 pounds of thrust in the second stage. The count should have been resumed now, and we expect to hear from Jack King at Cape Kennedy that it has. He'll be coming up in just a moment. Our clock shows
This is Gemini Launch Control at the Cape. We have just resumed our count at T-minus 3 minutes. This was some 15 seconds ago. We're now at 2 minutes and 41 seconds and counting on the Gemini 6 mission. The count was picked up right on time, leading to an ignition of the Gemini launch vehicle at 8:37 and 23 seconds a.m. Eastern Standard Time, if all goes well through the remainder of the count. We had a final status check once again prior to resuming the count and got a go from all elements concerned with the mission. All is still looking good at the present time. At this point in the count, we give our final feed to the computer for the guidance system. This is the final information to the launch vehicle and, of course, also to the spacecraft to give us the correct launch time and the correct parameters for the flight. All is still looking very well at the present time. A launch azimuth for the flight of 81.4 degrees has now been placed in the guidance system. We're now at T-minus 1 minute and 45 seconds and counting. T-minus 1 minute and 40 seconds and counting at the present time. Everything's still looking well. During the last 10 seconds, astronaut Alan Bean, who is the spacecraft capsule communicator, will count down for astronauts Wally Schirra and Tom Stafford in the spacecraft. As we reach 0 in the countdown, the engines will ignite, and some 3.4 seconds thereafter, we will get liftoff for Gemini 6. Now 1 minute and 12 seconds and counting. During these final phases of the count, actually during the 90 seconds down, we have several highlights in which one of the key ones, of course, is the power transfer. Now 1 minute and counting on Gemini 6. Power transfer where we transfer into internal power on the launch vehicle. We have conserved those batteries up to this time. The spacecraft already is on internal power. Now T-minus 45 seconds and counting. T-minus 40 seconds and counting. All still looking good. T-minus 30. All quiet on the communications at the present time. T-minus 20. T-minus 15. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Trajectory looks very good. Goal program complete, Schirra says. Guidance says we've got proper roll and pitch.
That is its turned over a little bit on the side.
Flight dynamics and surgeon are both happy.
Means the medical report's good. Both astronauts in good shape. Oh, Gemini 6 looks good.
1 minute. Our velocity 1,342 miles an hour.
Another 9 seconds they go through maximum dynamic pressure, the next critical point in this flight. It's when they take maximum buffeting. When if there are any structural difficulties with the spacecraft and the booster, they would become apparent. They're going through max Q now.
This craft continues
Looks good.
to hold all the consoles here. He gets happy reports from each one of them. Looks good, looks good.
It's about 8.5 miles up now, and that's a beautiful picture from our VU cameras.
Mark 1 plus 40.
First stage cutoff should come now in about 45 seconds.
Schirra says he's got an update. Mark 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and our velocity now 3,700 miles an hour. Tanks are go for staging.
Means they're ready to turn off those big 430,000-pound boosters. They've done their job. They've gotten them up that high. Now the second stage, 100,000 pounds of thrust will take over in about another 10 seconds. We should see that staging.
Coming up on staging, 2 minutes, 25 seconds. We've got staging.
We've got a report on staging, but we didn't see it. There it is now.
Schirra called it. The thrust looks good on stage 2.
Sounded like that staging report was just a little bit early.
You can see it falling and turning on mine.
At that point, the first stage engine
is
shut off.
steering. The radio guidance has taken over, and we'll yaw the vehicle slightly to the right, bring it around some 4 degrees to put it in the proper angle. And at 3 minutes into the flight, everything looks good on the ground and in the spacecraft.